box. Any other answers? Okay. So answer is that Java. So next question. Which component is used to compile, debug, and execute Java program? Which component is used to compile, debug, and execute Java program? Okay, B. That is JDK. So this JDK, this is a core component of Java environment. It provides all the necessary functions and tools to execute and compile, debug a Java program. JDK is the correct answer. Is the correct answer. So next one is, which component is responsible for converting bytecode into machine-specific code? So next question, which component is responsible for converting bytecode into machine-specific code? JDK, it is used to compile and debug and execute Java code. So next question is, which component is responsible for converting bytecode into machine-specific code? Okay, correct answers is JVM. JVM, that is responsible to converting bytecode into machine-specific code. JVM is the correct answer. So next one is, what is the extension of compiled Java classes? Initially, we have Java code. Next is a class file. What is the extension? Dot class, dot class. Yes. Dot class is the correct answer. Yes, A is the correct answer. So next one. Which statement is true about Java? That is platform independent, platform dependent, code dependent, sequence dependent. How it will access, what is the answer? Sequence dependence. How it is sequence dependent? Okay, the correct answer is platform independent programming language. So this Java can be executed in any platform. That is, it supports Windows or Linux or Mac OS, etc. So that is platform independent programming language. Okay, that's all. Today, I'm going to teach you a concept function. You people are already familiar in this concept function. We already studied this concept in Python and C programming language. In the same way, I'm going to teach this concept in Java. So this function, it is also known as method. So this function is also called as method in Java. So what is method or function? So we all know function, it contains a sequence of code that is used to perform a specific task. So what is the importance of using this concept function? So first one is, it reduces the complexity. It reduces complexity of the program. Second one, the code can be reused. Next point, we can avoid repetition of code. Next one, debugging is easier and detecting and correction of errors is easier. So how it reduce the complexity of the program? So consider a problem. Consider I'm going to develop an application calculator. This is considered as a large problem. This calculator is divided into sub-problem or smaller problems. So the larger problem is decomposed into smaller program, and the smaller programs are developed independently. So example, I'm going to develop an application calculator. So I'm going to divide the function, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, x power function, exponent function. So each and every functions or method is called as individual subprograms. Though this individual subprograms are called as functions or methods. In C, it is also known as modules. So larger problems are divided into smaller problems. These problems are developed independently, finally collaborating all the subproblems, solutions of subproblems, and we get the main solution. This is a major concept of function. So next one, it uses the approach divide and conquer approach. So major problem, that is a main problem. The main problem is divided into sub-problem. That is boss, divided work, divide the work and it is given allocated to individual employees. Finally, all the employees, they completed their task and it is collaborated together and it produces a final output. So this follows an approach, divide and conquer, that is top-down design approach. So next one, types of Java methods. So in every language, we have two different functions. First one is predefined functions or library functions. Next one is user-defined function. Predefined functions are already defined functions. Compiler automatically load all those necessary functions to execute a certain program. So next one is user-defined function. So based on our requirements, user developed a particular function or a method that is called as user-defined function. So predefined functions, in Java we have different set of predefined functions. We can import all those packages into our program, then it automatically executes the program. So example, java.util.scanner. So that is a predefined package. If you want to import this package, we can import using the keyword import. We will discuss the scanner method later. So next one is lang. If you want to perform any mathematical operations or string operations, we can use this lang method. It supports thread, it provides security functions. All those things comes under java.lang. Next, if you want to read and display a statement, we have to use a function, import java.io.star function, input output function. Star, it import all the necessary functions into. So this is an example for predefined function. So public class test, public static void main string of args. This is our main line in our Java program. And so next here I am going to find an exponent of a number and seal, cos and float. So exponential e power some value. So double I equal to 1, double j equal to 1.1, double x equals 0, double y equal to 1.1. So next I am going to find an exponent function. For that I am going to use a class math. Here, no need to import the package java.lang. So this java.lang, it is a predefined function. Compiler automatically invoke the lang function into our program. So no need to import that package. So here I'm using math.exp of I. So it finds an exponential value automatically. No need to import any packages here. So lang file, it is a predefined file. Compiler automatically invoke that package into our program. So exponent of e power 1. E power 1 is 2.71. Some value it will display. So next one, double j equal to 1.1. I'm going to perform an C operation. So what is the output of j means? It will display the output as 2. So it will display nearest integer up. That is 1.1 means it is out. What is the output? Output is 2. Example, j equal to 2.6. So what is the output? Output is 3.0. So here we are declaring the data type as double. So it display the output in floating point numbers, that is 2.0. First one is double I equal to 1. It find an exponential value. So it provide an answer 2.7182818, etc. So next one, ceil function. It round up the digit up to the nearest digit. That is 1.1 means what is output? 2.0. So next one, double x equals 0. So math dot cos of x. So what is answer? Cos of 0 is 1. So it will display the output as 1.0. So next one, floor. Floor, it is used to round the digit, that is 1.1. Y equal to 1.1. It will display the answer as 1.0. So these are the predefined methods. So no need to import a package into our program. So next one is user-defined function. We have two different functions, predefined functions and user-defined functions. Predefined function, compiler automatically invoke the particular functions. Example, println. Print is a method. If you want to use that print function, earlier we have to write a function to use the method print. But latest version, no need to include a separate function to use the print statement. So directly you have to use the statement system.out.println. No need to write any code to use that particular function. So that is the main advantage. So next one is user-defined function. So based on our requirements, we have to write a code. Example, already I told an example calculator. If I want to develop an application calculator, I can able to write my own code to develop the particular application. So what is the syntax? First one is class, that is a keyword, followed by class name. So next one is a main method, that is public static void main string args. So in this main method, we must declare a function call statement, that is my function of semicolon. That is a function call statements. Once the control goes to the function call statement means it directly moves to the function definition. That is, next one is function definition, that is public static void my function. Here they declare the keyword as static. If you want, you can declare, otherwise just declare public void my function, that's enough. So inside the function definition, again we are having function body. So in this way, we can declare user-defined function. So this is on syntax. This is a main function. Method 1. I'm going to declare two methods, method 1 and method 2. Using this function call statement, I call this function definition, method 1 of semicolon. Once the controller reaches to this method 1 of semicolon, it moves to the function definition of method 1. Next one, method 2 of, if control reaches to method 2 of function call, again it moves to the method 2 function definition. Okay. So if you want to declare an user-defined function, we have some procedures. Same as of variable declaration, we cannot use any reserved word, that is keywords. If, while, integer, these all the reserved word or keyword. Keyword cannot use as on function name. And next, use the symbol only underscore, letters. We can use numbers in between or end. These are the rules to declare a function. So next one is method calling or function calling statements. So function call statements, it contains function name followed by arguments. Values passed in the function call statement is called as arguments. Here they are declaring method definition and method calling. So inside method calling, it contains function name sum followed by the arguments. This argument is called as actual arguments. This argument is passed to the function definition or the method definition. The num1 is assigned to the variable num1. Num2 is assigned to the variable num2. Num3 is assigned to the variable num3. So this is, in this way, we can declare function call statement. Function name followed by arguments. These arguments are passed to the function definition or method definition. Those argument is called as formal parameter. So integer num1, integer num2, integer num3. These are formal parameter. Sum of num1, num2, num3. These are actual arguments. So next one, user-defined method. So this is an syntax to write an user-defined method. First one, public. Static is optional. Static int sum of. So public, it is an access specifier. Next one is return type. You can declare void or integer. We can use any return type based on our input value. So next one is method name or function name. Next one is method parameters. Because this is on function definition. Function definition, it contains parameters. So inside, we write a statement to execute the particular task, that is method body. So return type, it may or may not return a value. If you declare here void means public static void sum. It does not return any value to the main function. If you are using integer, it returns some value. Return type may be integer, float character or any other valid data type based on our input value. So the keyword is return. So this is a simple Java program. So every Java program, it must contain class. So here I am using the class name, class followed by class name. Class is a keyword, add is a class name. So inside I am going to declare a variable integer x and y. This x and y can be accessed only within this class. Next, public class, my class. Inside I am going to write our main function, public static void main string args. So this is our main line. So next, I want to access the variable in the class add. How I can access the variable from the class add? I can create an object to access the variable. For that, I am going to create an object add, that is a class name for the previous class. Add, object name is a equal to new add of. So you create an object a. So using that object, I can access the value from the previous class, that is a.x. So directly I am declaring the value as x, a.y. I'm declaring the value as 7. System.out.println. So you can use system.out.print or system.out.println. So both are acceptable. So again, I'm going to perform an addition a dot x plus a dot y. So what is the output? 5 plus 7 equal to 12. So next one, already we discussed predefined function. Predefined functions are inbuilt functions. Compiler automatically invoke all the necessary functions into our program. So example, java.lang. Lang, it support all the mathematical functions, string functions, etc. So next one is user-defined function. So based on our requirements, we are going to write a function. That is user-defined function. So it contains two different categories, two different main categories with argument and without argument. So function contains four categories divided into with argument and without argument concept. So first one, function with argument with return value. I will explain this concept later. Second concept, function with argument, no return value. Third one, function without argument with return value. Next one, without argument, no return value. These are the four different categories we can use while writing a function program or method. Okay, first one, function with no argument and no return value. So function with no argument and no return value means we must declare the function definition as and function call as. We declare the statement as void function of. This is a function definition statement, void function of, that is function with no argument and no return value. We declare the return type as void. Inside the parenthesis, no need to declare any arguments. So next one is function with argument but no return value. So function with argument means inside the parameter, we must declare the value. So for that, they are declaring integer data type. This is function with argument but no return value. The keyword, use the return type as void, followed by function name, that is function, followed by parameters, integer. So next one is function with no arguments but return value. So function with no argument means no need to declare arguments here, but use the return type as integer. Integer followed by function name, followed by parenthesis. Next one is function with argument and return value. You must declare and return type as integer and followed by you must pass an argument, that is integer. We can pass any number of arguments. If I am going to pass 5 numbers of arguments means I must declare integer, comma, integer, comma, integer, comma, integer. Like that I am going to declare. Okay, I will explain this program later. Before that, just look up this. So first class, public class, test, inside main function, integer is equal to addition of 5, 8. This is a calling function. Here we are passing two arguments 5, 8. So this is addition as a function name. Once the controller reaches to the line, it moves to the function definition or method definition. Method definition is public static int addition int a, int b. So first one is calling function and passing arguments 5 and 8. So next one is method definition. Method definition, it contains method body, that is integer r equal to a plus b, return r. This is function with argument with return value. We are passing the argument as well as in the function definition, we return r to the main function. Okay, category 1, function with no argument and no return value. So function with no argument means no need to pass any arguments and no need to declare a statement return. So first class demo1, inside public void function. So this is method definition or function definition. So inside I'm having method body. So next one is public class my class, public static void main string args. This is on main line. So I'm going to access the value. I'm going to perform operation on class demo. So for that, I'm going to create an object obj class demo1. I'm going to create an object obj equal to new demo1. So next, using that object, I'm going to access the class obj dot function of. This function is on fun is on function call statements. Once the controller reaches to this function call statement, again it moves to the function definition. So function definition is present in the class demo1. For that, we are creating an object obj. If both the functions are available inside, if function public void function is present inside the main method means no need to create an object. See here, public class test. Under this main method, under this we are having an function definition. So this function definition is present only inside the main function, that is inside the class test. So no need to create an object to access the main method. But here already I created class demo1. Under this we have a method definition public void fun now. This is a function definition. Under this I am declaring integer a equal to 5 system.out.print a into a. I am going to find square of a number. So a into a. So next in the main method I am going to create an object to access the class demo1. So demo1 obj equal to new demo1. Using this object, I am going to access this class demo. So obj dot fun of this fun is on function call statements. Once the controller reaches to the function call statement, it moves to the corresponding class, that is demo1. So and it accesses the method function. So inside we have a variable declaration a equal to 5 and output as system.out.print a into a, that is output as 25. So here no need to pass any argument and no need to declare and return type. So this is on first category. It does not return any value to the main method. It displays the output in the class itself and output as 25. So next category is function with argument and no return value. So function with argument means while writing a function call statement, here the function call statement is fun of 5. We must pass an argument. This argument is called as actual argument. This argument is passed to this function definition, that is public void from integer a. So 5 is passed to the variable a. Again it performs the operation 5 into 5. But it does not return any value to the main function. Here we have the class demo2. Inside we have function definition. Function definition, it contains access specifier followed by return type followed by function name followed by parameter. This is on parameter or formal parameter. So inside we are having the statement system.out.println. This is on method body. So I'm going to create an object to access the class demo2. Demo2 equal demo2 obj1 equal to new demo2 of. Again using that object I'm going to access the, I'm going to call this function. Using this object I'm going to access the function. So obj1 dot fun of 5. So function of 5. So this 5 is an actual argument. This argument it is passed to this function definition, that is public void function of integer a. It hold the value 5. So it print this output as 25. But it does not return any value to the main function because this is a What is the return type for this point? Void is a return type. So next category, function with no argument with return value. So same, this is class demo 3. Inside we have method definition, public integer fun now. Function with no argument. So no need to pass any argument from this function, main function, that is main method. So integer a equal to 5, integer equal to a into a, return c. I'm going to perform an operation and I'm going to return a value to my main function. For that, I'm using the return type as public int funnow, and I'm using the keyword as return c. So after completing the task, it must return value to the main function. For that, here I'm going to create an object demo3 o equal to new demo3. Using this object o, I can access the class demo3. Okay. So next one, integer r equal to o dot funnow. So I'm going to calculate square. After that, it must return a value c. Again, I'm going to store that output into the variable c. For that, I'm going to declare integer r equal to o dot funnow. Or directly how to declare system.out.println o dot funnow. That is also correct. So integer r equal to o dot funnow. So once the compiler control reaches to this function call statement, it directly moves to the function definition, that is public int funnow. Here function with no argument, so no need to pass an argument. So again it moves to the definition. It takes the a value as 5 and calculate 5 into 5. It return the answer as 25. It return value to this main function. So o dot function, it received the value as 25. So next it print the output as system.out.print of r. I am going to print r. So what is the output? Output is 25. Fourth category is function with argument and with return value. So in this function call statement, we must pass an argument, that is, we must declare an actual argument, and we must use a return keyword, and we must use an data type as integer. So this is our main method. From this main method, I'm going to access this class demo4. For that, I'm going to create an object demo4 obj equal to new demo4. So using this object, I'm going to access the class demo4. So next, again, I'm going to store my result in the variable r, because function definition, it returns some value. I'm going to store the value in the variable r. So integer r equal to obj dot funnow. This is my function call statement fun of 5. This is function with argument. So this argument, it is passed to the function definition. I am passing an integer value. So this is an integer data type. If I am going to declare a floating point value here, use this float as a data type. So obj.funnow5, once the controller reaches to this line, again it moves to the function definition. So function definition is present inside the class. So public int fun of integer a. I'm going to pass an integer value. So for that, we are declaring the data type as integer. I'm using return concept. So I'm using the data type here as integer. Return type as integer. So this is a return type, whether it may be a void or integer, or it may be any valid data type. So next one, integer c equal to a into a. Again, it calculates the answer and return the value in the variable c. Again, I am returning c into my main function. It returns this value into this location, object.function of 5. So 25 I received a main function. It is stored in the variable r. So I am going to print the output as 25. So this is category 4. That's all. Once again, I'm explaining function. It is also called as method in Java.